Quantum Sex Cults edition of this meeting to end the evil Epstein stuff. I'll just put it this way. In my research on Baal or Baal, the evil god that the Epstein rituals are all to serve, my conclusion is that they have all this sex. And of course, the sex that the Epstein people are having is disgusting. But in the original days of Baal, it wasn't, all this stuff abusing kids. It was just sex. It was just like adults having sex. And then, well, they did abuse kids because they supposedly killed them and sacrificed them. And it seems like the Epstein stuff has kept that part of the tradition alive, mostly, and added to it all this sexual abuse of kids. And so it seems like instead of a sex cult that also killed kids, or a sex cult that was demonized by having people say they killed kids, but they really didn't, just to keep people away from them. What the Epstein cult has done, the Epstein class, has taken killing kids and abusing kids as their religion. They've taken that aspect of it. And you can see how historically it works this way because, at least with Judaism, from what I researched, this Baal religion that was always associated with these orgies and killing kids just kept coming back and infesting Israel and the Jewish people. Um, and even though, one of their kings killed everybody that worshipped, one king killed 450 of their priests, and then another king killed everybody who worshipped this religion. But it kept creeping back in. It kept coming back. And it makes me think that once something's come back, but it gets everybody killed, and then comes back again, but it gets everybody killed, it probably takes some strange turns. What comes back after everybody gets killed probably takes some really strange turns. And even if it started off as a storm god, as a sex ritual that didn't even have these negative components to it, once they've labeled it with these negative components, or if it did have the negative components of killing kids, once they've labeled it with that, or the fact that that was one of the things that they keep getting everybody killed for doing, well, people who want to, for some reason, do it again after everybody's been killed for doing it, they are probably going to make it even worse. They're like, oh, you killed us all just because we killed kids? Well, we're going to kill kids even more now. It's kind of like the psychology behind it. Or the other thing that they would do is disguise it as something else. Try to hide that fact that they were doing that part of the rituals when that part of the ritual is what got them killed. Maybe hiding the sex part of the ritual too. I noticed one of the things that god, that evil god Baal, is responsible for is invisibility. One of the powers that it grants is invisibility. And you think about how much secret the Epstein files, the Epstein class's activities were. They're using that invisibility of that god to escape notice, or to hide in plain sight, or whatever you want to call it, to avoid being identified for what they're doing. But it makes me think that, even if this is just a corruption of a god that wasn't so bad it wasn't bad at all even to begin with, but they've taken a god and corrupted it. And then on top of that, they've only really developed the corruption. Whatever may have once been good about this god, they've taken a corrupt version, and only the corruption has progressed. And so that's how you end up with this Epstein class of people sacrificing kids, just like thousands of years ago the worshippers of Baal were accused of doing, and having sex and orgies and stuff like the worshippers of Baal were doing. But they're having their sex and orgies with the kids, which I don't think anybody was saying the original worshippers of Baal were doing, or Baal were doing. So they've become worse. They've taken the worst things about this religion and made them even worse. And they've done this in isolation. All my research, or all the things I saw, you know, there's this kind of debate about what it's about. It's somewhat trying to dismiss it. Yeah, black cats are cool. 19 pounds? I don't think this one's that heavy. There's some sort of debate about things, but generally it seems pretty understandable. Habitual 3 says, welcome everyone. Please like, share, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to watch more enjoyable content. Thank you for reminding me to say that, or saying that yourself on my behalf, so that I could read that aloud for the benefit of everyone. Thank you for the rainbows, Alamo City Cello. You have a cool name. Thanks for being here. Okay, listen. What we're going to do is we're going to replace patriarchy. We're going to end patriarchy. We're going to end Christianity. We're going to end Trumpism and war. That's all the Church of Judas. We can talk about that if you want. We're also going to do this quantum sex cults is the theme of this live, because quantum sex cults is how you can have the sex cults without the child murder or child molestation, any of this child abuse stuff. None of that stuff. But the sex cults, yes. And let me know if anybody is aware of any sex cults out there besides, oh, you're back. Yeah, the Church of Judas to replace all patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism. Oh, hope you have a good day too. It's daytime on one side of the planet, regardless. Especially now. Yeah, we can end patriarchy. Forced doctrine means it's irreversible. I don't know what that means, Jesus is Lord. But you should know, as Jesus, that the whole plan of Christianity was to trap patriarchy in this evil network, Christianity, a fake religion. And that at this point, we spring the trap and we remove the evil from the earth. And that removing of the evil ends patriarchy, capitalism, war, Trumpism, and Christianity. It's a matriarchy in Italy. It's from the Gospel of Judas. Oh man, it's you again. Why would I need to talk to you again? You've been here before. You should go somewhere else. Okay. So what we're doing here is we're going to have quantum sex cults, but we need like women. I'm not interested in men at all, and all the trolls are men. So we need like women. I'm looking to talk to like a woman. There's a woman in chat. Sorry, I'm just interested in talking to a woman in chat. While the men are here, I'm going to go ahead and Reiki your racism away. Your racism's going to disappear because of this Reiki I'm doing right now. So if you want to keep your racism, you might want to leave the chat. But if you stay here, your racism's going to go away. Oh, we have a female in chat. Oh, hi, Voodoo Child. Okay, great. Let's have sex. If you want. If you and I want to have sex, we should. What? Yeah, it is. Coming soon. This is, I mean, it's not the best place for a hookup. But if there's a female, so far all we have is these male trolls, which I'm not interested in. Sure, yeah. If you want. I mean, I wasn't doing anything. But the point being that sex is one of the cures for patriarchy. Sex is one of the best cures for fascism. Okay? Sex is one of the best cures for fascism, and there's all sorts of ways to prove this. The best way to prove it is to have sex. Sorry, if you're, yeah, I'll hit, if there's any women in here, I'll gladly hit on you, but I don't think there are any women in here. I think the one woman that was, oh no, she's still here. Someone wants me to go to the casino with them. Yeah. And get a jackpot. Let's see. Well, you guys didn't start it, you know, like, and we have a problem with fascism now, I think a lot worse than you guys do. So in America, we need to talk about fascism. You haven't been to a casino since you were 10? Well, I can't really recommend them. I don't really go to casinos. Okay, cool. Rhode Island sounds far away, though. But yeah, we could have, like, phone sex or whatever. Or, like, cyber. You did very bad things. Okay, I won't bring it up. Sorry, I was reading somebody else's comment, I think. Yeah, we can undo patriarchy. Hierarchy isn't natural. Hierarchy is patriarchy. It's unnatural. Oh my gosh. Let me just ban this. I thought, what the hell? Does that... Are you serious? Does muting people only work for one fucking session? This is ridiculous. Do I just... Oh my gosh. Do I just have to block you on the channel? Oh my gosh, you're so boring. Yeah, dude, I do hate assholes. They're terrible. Everybody hates them. Everybody hates all Trump boutonnieres. But anyway, this was supposed to be about sex, but I don't think we have any women in the chat. I don't think we have anybody who's not a Trump boutonniere in the chat, once again. Everybody's a Trump boutonniere. So anyway, I mean, sex would cure you guys too, but that's really, that's really not possible, huh? Everybody subscribe to Voodoo Child so that she can go live. Yes, this live isn't designated for children. You fucking idiots. Now see, look. K. Purdue has lots of sex. He's cured. See? We got a testament. There. We'll pin the message. See, it shows that it works. You can't have music in your videos or they'll put copyrights on it. Oh, I'm sorry. Hope he gets out soon. K. Purdue, are you reverse trolling him? Oh my gosh. Sorry about the trolls in the chat. They were super boring. Anyway, so we're supposed to be talking about sex. I tried the Quran. Okay, so we're supposed to be talking about sex. And I don't think anybody in chat's had sex. So we're still looking for people that, let's see. I think if anybody in the chat has had sex, put like an emoji in the chat. Or a 1 or an emoji or something if you've ever had sex in the chat. I should have known it was going to go like this with all these incels in the chat. It's kind of pointless. What did you guys hear about Nick Fuentes turning on his followers? Did Nick Fuentes finally have sex? Dude, you guys know what incels are. You're all incels, but like, we're hoping to talk to somebody who's not an incel. You have been reported weirdo. Oh my gosh. Okay, Purdue. I thought you were not MAGA. Sounds like you are MAGA. That's disappointing. Oh man, I thought we had somebody who was not MAGA. Who are you having sex with, Kay Purdue? Is it a girl? Wait, but you said Christian nationalism is ruining the planet. What? Okay, you're just like some type of idiot. But I mean, you said Christian nationalism is ruining the planet, so I'll give you credit. You're probably just you don't really understand what's going on. That's fine. Okay. I'm glad you're not MAGA. That's good. No, sorry, I don't like men. I like women. And there's no women in the chat, so that's the way it goes. What did Elid? I can't say your name, but you said Eli. Maybe it's midnight in Berlin. Hold on, it's midnight in Berlin right now, so I'm bored. So I'm just gonna listen. I don't hate. I listen. Well, that's nice. Thanks for being here. He's just one of. Okay, so in America, there's two different types of Klansmen, Nazis. There's two different types of MAGA. There's two different branches of MAGA in America. One of them is the Nick Fuentes Groyper brand. They're like a Klan, like a Ku Klux Klan neo-Nazi, like really openly Nazi, really openly Klan group. And then there's the other branch is the Turning Point, like Zionists, Turning Point Christian nationalists. Those are the two different branches, the two different like legs of Trumpism. They're kind of opposite. Not opposite, they're kind of opposed to each other because, of course, the neo-Nazis and Klansmen hate the Zionists. Sure they do. Well, I mean, it's not in YouTube. There's not women here. You're not a woman, are you, Nico? We were wondering about that before. Where did I get the idea that you were female, Nico? Are you female or not? I mean, they're not here though. Like, put a 1 in the chat if you're right. Exactly. It's not in here. There's not really plenty of anything on YouTube. YouTube's kind of an old folks' home. I wish you were a woman. Yeah. I wish there was something interesting about you. Yeah, gender's whatever. Oh, voodoo's the female. No, I just wanted to know if you were a woman, Nico. I mean, I guess you're not. I guess I figured it out now. I don't know why I thought you were. Yeah, YouTube is like I don't know. YouTube is like a ghost town. There's nobody here. It's just a bunch of trolls. It's like okay, put a 1 in the chat if you're not a troll. Like, let's try it that way. There's supposedly 14 people here, so let's do a quick sampling of YouTube. Put a 1 in the chat if you're not a troll. Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever had sex. Like, put a 1 in the chat if you're not a troll. Well, Nico, you are a troll, though. Joel Phoenix, you are a troll. You're all just, well, Voodoo Child might not be lying. But, like, the rest of you are all just lying. Okay, put a 2 in the chat if you've ever had sex. Nico, you're lying again. Okay, Voodoo Child's had sex. Caleb Williams had sex. Nico, you're lying. Like, seriously. Like, I can tell. Okay, K Purdue's had sex and is not a troll. I mean, I can kind of believe that. What? No, you're a troll because you're MAGA, dude. All MAGA are trolls. Like, I don't give a fuck about Dex. Well, I don't either, I guess. I was going to ask you what that is, but I don't give a fuck. So anyway, so we found like 1 or 2 real people, and they both had sex, but the rest of you haven't, and you're not real. Let's see. Sorry, we were supposed to be talking about sex and sex cults, but we really don't have enough people to talk to because there's only 2 people here who even know what sex is. So far, we had 2 people, Voodoo Childs and Caleb, I think his name was. Oh, and 3 people. We have 3 people. No woman. What does that mean? Hold on. Zach's real. Zace Merton. Hold on. Zace Merton is real. Hold on. Somebody else is real that I didn't notice before. Let's just look at your channel activity. You said, what the fuck? What? I don't know if you're real, dude. I'm not really that curious about you. Let's see. We need a better comment to pin. Okay, we'll do that one. Yeah, what did you want to know about Gnosticism? I'm Church of Judas. We're replacing all patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism. Did you want to know something in specific? Jesus set Judas aside outside of the churches to come back at this time and replace all the churches. Yeah, Judas. What can I say except you're welcome? Just Church of Judas. I call it Church of Judas. I mean, when Jesus told Judas this, he said, your church will replace them. So that's why I call it Church of Judas. That's my name for it. But I also kind of call it the Church of Mary and Judas, or Church of Judas and Mary. I don't know about the meme. It's not my religion. It's just Jesus. It's just what makes Jesus really cool. Jesus came up with this plan in order to end war and patriarchy by trapping it in a fake religion and then replacing that religion with a real religion. I'm just a little sleepy. I might have watched Borat a really long time ago. I don't remember it much. I didn't read the whole library. I read like the Gospel of Thomas. I also read the Gospel of Mary. And I read the Gospel of Judas. The Gospel of Judas, you can just read it online. It's free. No, Jesus' plan to stop war takes place now. We can play a role. We can help Jesus' plan to stop war. I'm against everybody in the Epstein class. Donica Patinsky, Trump, and all of them. Why would you ask me a MAGA question? I did see how in Iran they're burning the effigies of Baal, Trump's god. They're burning the effigies of Baal or Baal, Trump's god. They're burning, in Iran, they're burning Trump's god. They're burning Trump's god in effigy. They're burning effigies of Trump's god. Why would anybody say that? America First is Klan. America First is a Ku Klux Klan state slogan. And so that's why MAGA adopted it, to signal that they're the Ku Klux Klan. Sorry, anyway. The purpose of the live is to talk about sex cults, what I call quantum sex cults. A quantum sex cult is just referencing the fact that quantum physics and quantum reality, there's no center, there's no leader or whatever. Like basically, a quantum sex cult is your sex cult, like the sex cult that you want to belong to, and the sex cult that any of your partners are in is the sex cult that they belong to. Everybody's the center of their own sex cult. But the point is to allow people to have sex cults without killing babies and, all the Epstein shit. And then you compete with the Epstein shit, but you're for people that don't want to kill babies. And then you can clearly define between, hey, we're all in a sex cult. We don't even necessarily have to be secret about it because there's nothing wrong with sex. And we're not killing babies to do it. And so when Epstein is doing that, then, and the Epstein class is doing that, then you just defeat them by doing the fun side of what they do better than they do, and not with children, and then doing the, not doing the murders, just not killing people and all that stuff. Singular. Anyway, I'll just wait for you guys to have reactions, I guess. We'll wait for decent people to show up with reactions. Oh my gosh. Do you guys brag about being Nazis, or are you the ones that are like, what's a Nazi? Do you brag about Nazis, or are you the what's a Nazi crowd? Dude in the Epstein files, he said babies tasted like cream cheese. Well, yeah, that's the problem with the Epstein files, is that it shows how evil they were. Decent people are people who are against Epstein. Is that hard? Like, you guys are all for Epstein. Put a 1 in the chat if you're against Epstein and Trump. Like, it's too hard for some of you. Put a 1 in the chat if you're against Epstein and Trump. I saw y'all put 1s in the chat before. Hey, Tony Montana. See, we got a human. We got an American. We got somebody good in the chat. We got 2. Well, Joel Phoenix, you're pro-Epstein. You're a Trumper. Anyway. Like, I know you can lie, but you're a Trumper, dude. You're pro-Epstein. Like, one thing we've established very well is that Joel Phoenix is a Trumper. He's pro-Epstein. So Nico is a Trumper. She's pro-Epstein. For real, Nasty's serving a guy for Thanksgiving. No, nobody wants to be on the island. It's so gross the way you guys are like, you're just jealous that you're not closer to Trump. Like, no, dude, we all hate you. We all think you're terrible. Oh no, Tony Montana, I'm sorry. There's just a bunch of Nazis in there's a bunch of Klansmen in the chat. They're like the regulars here or whatever. They suck. Yeah, dude, now you're trying to back up about supporting Trump. Like, we know you support Trump. Like, yeah, you should be embarrassed about that. You should be ashamed of that. You should be working hard to contradict all of your years of supporting Trump. But we know what you are. We know what you do. But anyway, let's get back to sex cults. How to overthrow the Epstein class by having poor people sex cults. Poor people sex cults that are more fun, sexier, not with children, and also don't kill kids. Really shouldn't be a hard, battle to win. So I call it the Pillar Revolution, because it's the part we do by having sex. Y'all wouldn't know anything about that because y'all are all Trump Trump-Putin-ears. Who do I support? I support everybody who's anti-Trump. I support everybody who's anti-Putin. Everybody who's anti-Netanyahu. I guess I should clarify. I support everybody who's anti-Trump, Putin, Netanyahu. If you're more one than the other, if you're like, oh, Putin's innocent, I can't support that. I kind of need people to be at that threshold of like recognizing that they're all three the same thing. See, like when this person says Putin's the good guy, you see what I'm saying? Like I don't care how much you hate Netanyahu, even if you hate Trump. If you're sitting here saying Putin's the good guy, no. I don't think people do that. I think people who support Trump support Putin. I think that's always lockstep. Sometimes they hate Netanyahu because they're Nazis or Klansmen, but they don't hate Netanyahu for his genocide. They hate anyway. They hate Netanyahu because they're Nazis or Klansmen. Okay. Well, thank you for never supporting Trump, Tony Montana. I appreciate that. Thank you for being an American, sticking to your American stuff, even if you're Republican. I am not against you. I'm against Trump. Anyway, I'll probably shut down the live just because it is such terrible MAGA in here. Yeah, what else do you need? Oppose Trump, like Jesus. Trump's the Antichrist. Don't come back, Nico. Please never come back anywhere ever again. That's so weird. Rather be called mega than gay. Me too. It's so weird. They said he's Epstein's biggest supporter. That's so weird. I'm sorry. Thanks for the reactions. Thanks for being here if you're not a fascist. If you want to talk, we can talk some, but I'm pretty much done with... It's just all fascists in the live. Oh. Thanks. And you said, how about the haters just leaving? Actually, just listen. Why don't we read your comments for a minute and I'll just talk to you? Because the nice thing is I can look through all your comments. Hello, greetings from Germany. That's right, we read some of your comments. By the way, I'm sharing the stream with my whole class. We just reported your channel on YouTube. Reported or recorded. Don't talk about fascism. I'm Germany. I know Italy did. We followed. We did very bad things. Just please don't bring it up. You brought it up. Thanks. I feel like you brought it up. Like, I'm just reading over your comments for the very first time, and I don't remember bringing it up. So you brought it up. I'm just here so you feel guilty for the bad things you did. You mean killing a bunch of people? The way you Germans killed millions of people and invaded a bunch of countries, and you should be ashamed of it, and you sound like you're kind of ashamed of it, but you're not ashamed enough to acknowledge what you are. I'm just here to listen because it's night in Berlin for me, and I'm bored. I'm 18, so I'm good. You need to learn to spell English better, dude. I don't believe that you're an 18-year-old German person spelling that bad. I thought most German people spelled English pretty good. By the way, I'm just here to listen because it's midnight for me in Berlin, so I'm just bored. It's not how we spell bored. That's how you spell bored, like a piece of wood. Bored like you're bored, like something's boring, is B-O-R-E-D. It's midnight in Berlin right now, so I'm bored. There you go, you spelled it right that time. I'm just gonna listen. I don't hate, just listen. Well, I did not have sex, but I kissed a girl 1.5. I've kissed a woman, but no sex, so like a 1.5. What do you mean 1.5? Apparently Jesus didn't stop war. Well, if Trump takes Greenland, there's going to be war. Well, maybe you are German. Persia is Iran and Iraq. I do. Dude, the Epstein files, he said babies tasted like cream cheese. If you're a Nazi, go to hell. Yeah, that stands. You didn't notice that all these other... Oh, I'm sorry, maybe people don't notice what other people say in chats. No fascism. Well, you're the only one, but you're the only one that matters, you know? It's me and you. Actually, I saw Pussifer and Tool at... Was it Tool? I saw Pussifer and Primus and A Perfect Circle. That's who it was. Yeah, they were pretty good. I saw Pussifer and Primus and A Perfect Circle at Red Rocks concert on Maynard's 60th birthday. And it was pretty good. Well, people are saying Putin is good because they're Trump-Putineers. They're not people. They're Trump-Putineers. They're zombies. Like, they really don't matter. Were we talking about the Germans? Oh, have fun at the show. That's awesome. Enjoy the show. I'm a big fan of Bauhaus, so I've seen Peter Murphy a couple times, I think. I've seen Love and Rockets. Let's see. I might go see a concert coming up, but I'm not sure. Okay. Sorry, everybody's boring. Who's talking about ice? Okay. Are they talking about ice in Germany? In Germany, they're talking about how the Americans are like the Nazis, right? Right, but in America, in Germany, they're talking about how Americans are like the Nazis, right? Isn't that the reason they're talking about America right now? Is to be like, damn, they're being a lot like the Nazis. Made it here. Yeah, because Americans are being like the Nazis. Like, Trump-Putineers are Nazis. Everybody hates them. Like, I go ahead and curse them. Shiny Wizard, I curse you. I curse your family. I curse Trump and Putin and Netanyahu through you. Like, so do you see now, Edward? Eli Edward? Sorry, I couldn't read your name before. Eli Edward, do you see why now I'm kind of rude to the people in the chat because they're Nazis? Do you see how that works? Like, why shouldn't I be rude to the people in the chat? They're just Nazis. They brag about being Nazis. They brag about Trump. We all know that Trump's a Nazi. We're in the context of this live is everyone who understands that Trump is a Nazi. And here they are. They're proud about it. They're glad about it. They're bragging, cheering it on. Dude, we all know you're Nazis. I don't curse people. I just curse Nazis. I've never been to Canada, but I have a good impression of Canada. I've considered that Canada and Mexico might have to annex USA, facilitate land back to indigenous people, and maybe do the same for their countries. We should have sex cults that make the people in the Epstein creepy child abuse sex cults wish that they hadn't done that. They could be part of the regular people's sex cults. We should have more fun sex cults than the people who abuse kids. which shouldn't be hard to have more fun than that. And then we should make all the people who abuse kids, all those Epstein people, feel bad for abusing and killing kids. Sorry if saying that people who abuse and kill kids should feel bad offended you. If that was a line too far. Mm. You guys don't know what the Epstein files say about Trump? You'll probably hear people talking about it soon. I don't think I want to be the one to tell you if you haven't already heard it. If you don't already know what the Epstein files say about Trump, you're not going to hear it from me, so scroll away. See how the Trump supporters support Epstein? They're pretty terrible. So yeah, we need to go ahead and have our own sex cults that are a lot more fun, that everybody wants to be in, and all the people who are trying to be in the Epstein cults and rape kids and kill kids and stuff will look really stupid. Why wouldn't you want to have your own sex cult? I mean, you guys don't have sex, so you probably don't know how much fun that would be. But, like, for people that have sex, then they could have sex cults, and it would be a good thing. Hmm. I mean, it's kind of like, even though this is supposed to be not for kids, it's like, well, if you're still virgins, like, I don't understand why you would think you can engage in this conversation. They're all in on it. Hmm. What's one huge scam? I wasn't insulting them for being virgins. I'm just saying that's why they wouldn't be able to engage in a conversation about sex. Hmm. They're not the people to talk to about sex because, well, for one, I don't think there's any women here unless Voodoo was still here. I think all the women left. I mean, I don't think there were ever any women in the chat. I don't think it's projection. I think it's just there aren't any women in the chat. Oh, there is a woman. Hold on. Everybody shut up. I'm not going to have to go ahead and block you because you're boring. Oh my gosh. Why are Charlie Kirks so boring and in need of blocking? Yeah, nobody needs that. That's so boring. Okay, I'm so glad no one has gone. Okay. Somebody was a woman. Let's see if we can find out who it was. Oh, it's ScoMo. Nice to meet you, ScoMo. Nice to meet you, ScoMo. Sorry about all the Nazis in the chat. I'm Puffin. How are you? Did you just arrive? Sorry if I didn't notice you before. Yeah, let's have sex. That'd be great. I'm in bed. If you want to just come over here. Or I can meet you if you want. I'm pretty tired though. We could plan for the future. Why fly when you candle? To Iowa. Iowa's a little far away for me. Thanks for the offer though. That's pretty nice. Oh my gosh, we got these Trump Mutineers are Space Force in the streets, Flat Earth in the sheets. We got this Flat Earther in the chat. I'm gonna go to sleep, I think. But I appreciate and your offer for sex. I think we should probably have sex in the future. And at least we can talk about it now. So the reason why having all sorts of sex and letting the Trump people know that they're not having fun at all is because they're a bunch of losers. Most of them never have sex anyway. And the ones that do, they have sex with all these like couch looking people. Oh, you're a male with tits. Okay, that's cool. That's a lot better than most men. I'm not really into men though. Let's see. So yeah, I had a feeling there weren't any women in the chat. So there are not any women in the chat, and we'll have to. Oh, why fly? I didn't see him. Let's see. Well, hopefully don't spoil your vibe. Nice. Oh, it's Wi-Fi. That's Wi-Fi. Hi, Wi-Fi. Someone recommended you. Do you mind if I read your comments for a minute? I don't mean to make you self-conscious. No, self-conscious, yes. I don't make you want to feel like your ego. No. Oh, you're a Trumper. Gross. Well, dude, you don't deserve psychedelics. Like, just, you should not watch this live, dude. You go away. Go to a different live. Voodoo Child's still here. Voodoo Child's a female. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. I forgot what happened. Oh, I think you could probably find plenty of people to have sex with on YouTube. It's probably like 10% women here. It's probably like 10 or 20% women on YouTube itself, not necessarily on not necessarily on online. It's probably like half and half. But on YouTube, there's probably about 10 or 20% women. Oh yeah, I'll probably use one of those websites where I can. This is more for promoting sex cults. Smash and Dash? Is there really one called Smash and Dash? That's funny. But yeah, I was just really more about promoting sex cults because I thought about how this Epstein cult that worships this evil god sacrifices kids and stuff and does all these weird orgies and stuff. But like the origins of that they were sacrificing kids and doing orgies, but they weren't necessarily raping the kids. They were just sacrificing them, as far as I can tell. So the fact that they've made it a lot worse in a couple thousand years since then by sacrificing the kids and raping all these kids and torturing all these kids, to me, you could say, well, that's the real desires of this evil God coming out, or it's these people worshiping an evil God making it worse and worse. Either way, we put a stop to it. I don't think that should be all that controversial. I don't think that should be controversial at all. I mean, vegan orgies, sure. I mean, all sorts of orgies. That's the whole point of quantum sex cults, is that, like, everybody's is their own. I mean, it's just sex, really, but it's just giving it the justification of ritual and religion. So why must we have our own sex cults? To stick it back to them? No, for fun. Like, sex is fun. Okay, it's just hard to explain to people who haven't had sex, that look at sex as like a giant threat that potentially looms in their future. Sex is fun and enjoyable. Why a cult, though? Just makes it like a good vibe. Not a good vibe. I mean, it depends on what people think a cult is. I took a break for Zombies Are Hungry. Somebody was recommending that channel before. But I watched Hassan Piker for the first time today. And dude, I watched it for like an incredibly long time, like an unnecessarily long time. And he was super boring. He didn't have anything the fuck to say. I'll be glad to watch him now that I've heard it recommended, but I just, like, so far on YouTube, I'm not impressed. Oh, I often go live those times. Yeah, I don't know. If I see you there, I'll say hello. Detroit Jackson and Voodoo Child. Yeah, y'all check it out. I'm probably going to sleep soon anyway, so you're not missing anything here. I'm definitely shutting this one down live now. But the person that recommended him before, I thought turned out to be kind of a douchebag. So I guess I have like pretty purist kind of standards. Hello, Kendrick Lamar. Nice to meet you. Sorry about all the trolls in chat. They're not like us. Oh, I feel pretty uplifted. It was nice just talking to you. That was uplifting enough. Excuse me. And there goes Kendrick. Thanks. They're just terrible. I mean, you saw him. Excuse me. You saw him in the chat. They're just awful. I mean, I probably will. Yeah, I don't have to get up in the morning. You never know. You might run into someone interesting to talk to. It doesn't happen too often, but when it takes a long time for people to even show up. Good night, Riley. Sweet dreams. Nice to meet you. Sorry if I missed you before. You never know who you might run into. What the hell? Why are trolls so stupid? Anyway. I go by Puffin. Oh yeah. Voodoo Child's a good song. I go by Puffin. It's just the name of the channel. You can look up a lot of my content under Puffin though. All Jimi Hendrix songs are good. Jimi Hendrix was a cool guy. He's apparently psychopomp guy that ushers people into heaven a lot. A lot of musicians are met by Jimi Hendrix apparently. I guess partly because he's so recognizable, or partly because he wanted to do it. Yeah, musicians are awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep. I hope you have sweet dreams too. Sorry if the whole sex cult thing threw people off, but I guess I'll put it this way. I don't think people get into the Epstein shit to kill kids. Maybe some of them do. Probably a lot of them get into it for some type of sex, and then even like wait for what? Like that's the draw, is for some type of sex, even if they're sick fuckers. Like they're drawn in by the sex, and then the killing kids. That's probably something that they just let's list. I kind of remember you. Remind me. Here, I'll check out your content. I'll check out your channel. So we need to replace their evil sex cults with good sex cults. Shit ain't hard. Are you sure you were here before? Maybe you got a different... Oh, there's your old ones. Still plotting revolutions? That's all you said. What was I supposed to remember? You only said one thing. Yeah, we went way back. We'll have to go way into the future too, because I'm shutting it down for now, but thanks for saying hi. I've been in your house in high school. Well, who are you? What's your name? Just tell me your first name or something, so I'll know who you are. We gotta shut down live, so say it quick. You got like 10 seconds. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I thought you were for real. Well, I mean, I didn't really think you were for real, but I figured you'd come up with a name. Anyway, y'all have a good night.